I'm back. Although I think we look kind of dark today, or you look dark. I look
No,
nice and
it's me.
bright.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, it's
bright.
just you.
You're bright. Yeah, definitely you're much brighter. But never
Yeah, you
mind.
can't even see my t-shirt, I've got it in white print. Can't even see it, just see the top of me. All this t-shirt, he's got to put it up here, straight out of the record box. It's got to come
Put it up
somewhere up
there,
there.
yeah.
Maybe that's easier. Well, good morning, everyone. It's 8:23. It's late. I'm making my usual late foray into the breakfast flight show, but I hope everybody's good. I'm desperately trying to get Mixcloud up here so I can say hello to everybody, but it doesn't want to work for me. In fact, it's not that it doesn't want to work. Mixcloud has just changed things over, and I just have no idea where anything is yet at the moment. But good morning, Wolf Michael Pfister. Good morning, sir. You're always the first on the radio station. Sharky, you are definitely looking dark today.
Oh,
You look like
never
you've been
mind.
out and had a tan. But good
Trying
morning, John
trying to
J.E.
sort it out.
Good morning, Rudy D. Brown, Miss Sugar Sweet. Good morning, my lovely. How are you, Venergy? And Laurie Spice Nice. Spice Nice. And Ashley Miller, good morning, someone new. And Lady AJ and who First Lady. Gosh, we got all sorts of people in this morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm wondering where our young listener of last week is. What was it? Irish Bug or whatever it
Irish
was?
bug.
The one that was like, wasn't sure if he was after you, after me, offering me a job, offering you a job. I was very
Irish
confused by
bug.
that person last week. I was just like, I don't know. I
I
don't
was
know what they
confused. Yeah.
want. Just confused. And then we actually started talking about all sorts of things, personal stuff. I was thinking this is getting way too deep, way too deep. I think the listeners like to share a little bit
Mm.
too much what's going on, like what I do. Share too much. But it's another day, it's another morning. And as you can tell, it's getting lighter in the mornings and lighter in the evenings. By the time we hit March, the sun is going to be up from 7 o'clock and the sun is going down after 6 o'clock. That's just lovely.
Mm.
Lovely, lovely, more than 12 hours of daylight per day. Coming out of this sad syndrome and coming back into spring. And then at the end of March, as you know, it's the clocks go, was it forward or back? Forward.
They go
Clocks go
forward, did it?
forward,
Yes.
and
They go
then it's
forward.
even more daylight. So that's one thing I am just looking forward to. I love the daylight. I can't stand darkness and dark lights. So yeah, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Looking forward to that. So what did I miss this morning about what you was talking about? I heard a bit of war on the news. I mean, we do have some breaking news. I think I heard someone mention it. They got confused. They got John J.E. confused with Jay-Z.
I think he was talking about somebody, another DJ on another show.
Ah, that's what it was. They got
Mm.
slightly confused. Ah, well, we do have some breaking news this morning, don't we? Now, this
What do
broke
we have?
over the last day or two, over the weekend,
Hmm.
and obviously there's some conspiracy theorists out there as well. But the accuser has dropped the rape lawsuit against Jay-Z and Sean Combs after coming out in some splendiferous glory in the press. I think at the back end of last year, this accuser came out and said Jay-Z and Sean Combs and a few others had picked her up, or the driver, one of Sean Combs' drivers, had picked her up and taken her to a house where she says she was allegedly then physically assaulted and raped by Jay-Z, Sean Combs, and
Hmm.
I can't remember the other person, maybe bodyguards. And she was 13 at the time, in the year 2000. And everybody was rubbing their hands together. All these haters were just like, yeah, put him in jail. He's the same as Combs. Get him down. Me included. Now, don't worry, I haven't changed my mind. Now, this young girl has, well, she's not young anymore, has dropped her lawsuit that she had with this lawyer, Tony Busby, that's been in the news for all sorts of reasons. That
Put
I
your mic by
think
your mouth a bit more. I think it's a bit.
Jay-Z's calling him a little
Yeah.
bit fictitious.
Hmm.
But he's representing dozens of plaintiffs in a lawsuit against Sean Combs, and this young lady had come along, and he thought that he had a case with her, but it's now been dismissed. The lawyers, Tony Busby, has removed the complaint, and this young girl has decided that she's not filing anymore.
Mm.
Now, Sean Carter, I should say, that's his legal name. Jay-Z is his stage name, has come out with a statement and said this frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. This civil lawsuit was without merit and was never going anywhere. The fictional tale they created was laughable, if not for the seriousness of the claims. The trauma that my wife, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed, said the rapper, who's obviously married to Beyonce. He continued, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. May the truth prevail for all victims and those falsely accused equally. And his attorney said they emphasised in a separate statement saying that the case should have never been brought to the light of day. And he stood up in the face of heinous and false allegations. And Jay-Z has done what a few can do. He paid them off. No.
Listen. We know, right? If you've got money and you pay off somebody,
Money
he
talks.
can turn around and say what he
Money
wants.
talks. Dirty cash, you need me. I think you should
He
play that
can
tune
say
next. Look up that
what
tune.
he wants. We all know you pay somebody off a couple million, 30 million, most probably, or something like that. Okay? That person ain't say nothing. He can turn around and say whatever he wants. She can't say nothing because if she does, she's going to lose all of that money. So, it's a deal. His name ain't dragged into the mud, but we all know. We're not stupid. We know what's going on. We know what's
What do
going
you think?
on.
Hold on one second. So let me just get. I've got to write some of these thoughts down because otherwise I'm gonna forget some of them. But there was speculation. Obviously, when this story first broke out, there was all this speculation about Jay-Z being just like Sean Combs. They're all going down. They're all dying. And nobody is above the law. Like how what's happened to Puff Daddy, right? He thought that Puff Daddy, P Diddy, I don't know, so many names. Sean Nasty Love Jones, I used to call him. But nobody is above the law, right? There are certain exceptions against the rule and everything, and depending on who you know, and it's a case of that. Jay-Z obviously knows people more than what Sean Puff Daddy does. And there's speculation rife I was going through Twitter and all the social media platforms looking for what people were saying. Now, he's obviously got a lot of supporters, but he's got a lot of people saying the same thing what we're coming out with this morning. So whilst it may be... some people may say that you can't say these things. It's the word on the street is that Jay-Z paid this person off. Now, it's no coincidence that Beyonce is going back out on tour next year.
I don't know
Why
what
is she going
happened.
back?
You blanked out there. The word out on the street, Jay-Z, he blanked out.
Oh, did I? I wonder if it's my internet or is it their camera?
Yeah, you're freezing there every now and then.
Oh, it could be the camera. Could be the camera, but I'll come back to it. If it plays up, I'm going to take it out. And you're shaking your head like you can't see me.
Meaning it's not the camera.
Ah, okay. Well, play a track. We'll come back again, and I'll finish off the Jay-Z story.
Yeah, let's get you. Okay.
You guys let me know if I'm glitching or anything. I've switched over cameras. I'm not liking it, so I'm going to play with it a little bit. I've got this green energy around me that I'm kind of not liking. I feel like it's a little bit too dark. I feel dark.
It sounds really low now.
Oh,
Very
sorry,
low.
my head mic is away from my head. I said I feel very dark today. It feels I need some more light coming in, so I'm gonna test this out when we come to the break at the top of the hour. Now, just before that, I was talking about Jay-Z and the allegations of maybe him paying off the accuser. I mean, we don't know. We'll never know. It's going to be all shrouded in secrecy. And of course, she would have signed an NDA, so she can't say a word. But Beyonce's going back on tour next year. Maybe that's paying off the legal fees. Maybe there's quite a few million in there. Shut the hell up, go away, and leave us alone.
And you know what? Maybe with it as well, there's something to do with Beyonce because there's a lot of talk about her being involved in a lot of these things that are going on. So it's a possibility that Beyonce is in it too. Best we pay him off. What do you reckon?
There's a possibility of anything right now. There's nothing that I don't believe. I mean, the stories that I read on the news every day, there's some that I can present to the news and we can laugh about it. There's some that I can present to the news and want to cry about. And there's some that I just can't present to the news because it's just too weird and wonderful for the news. People are crazy out there. They really are.
Certainly are.
And, people are doing anything for social media right now. May it be false allegations, may it be all sorts of things. But coming back to Jay-Z, the jury's out there. I
Mm.
think people with too much power, I think they should just automatically just be in the suspicious eye, because they have got the grounds to pay people off, give hush money. Jay-Z is a billionaire. He's
He
a billionaire.
certainly is.
And
He
as a
certainly
couple,
is.
they are billionaires, right? They've got more money
And
than.
sense.
Oh, I was going to use that word, but they've obviously got a lot of money, so they must have some sense somewhere along the line to be able to attribute that kind of money to their coffers. So they're doing well with their advisors or their own advice at some point. So you got to give it to them. But it frightens me when people. I've spoken about this before. People that earn so much money. Do you need to be a billionaire over and over again? At what point do you say, I've got enough money? At what
Mm.
point do you need more money to secure your future? I mean, if you're a billionaire, you're not gonna lose your cash unless you put it in some dodgy investments, right? Or
Yeah,
some dodgy cryptocurrency or whatever. But as a
true.
billionaire, you're not going to lose cash, and you're
No.
obviously going to be in the circle of friends that can loan you a couple of million or two, and until you can get by. You acquire friends that have got wealth more than yours when you reach those dizzy circles. So you're not going to go hungry, or you go to
No.
Jamaica and live off the land. Planting and sweet potatoes. What's what I'm living off at the moment. So he's got options. Let's just say when you've got money, you can buy a bag of options, and everyone else can look like the idiots or the wrong
Mm.
end. And so Jay-Z got away with this one. And you've got to get that track "Dirty Cash" because it's so poignant at this time to even play that track. Good morning, Susie Cruz, my darling. Good morning to you. Miss Sugar Seat says, "Work hard to get them away." And let's have a look. Marie B Dimples. Miss Sugar Suit says, "Nobody ain't above God, but man still trying." Listen, they're still trying. They are definitely still trying. And then
Yeah.
we got Kanye, and we'll talk about Kanye in a minute. Kanye with his swastika t-shirts. Come on, Kanye, what's going on? I love you, but I can't keep defending you. I
No.
can't do it.
Kanye. Kanye is on a. I don't know what's going on with him. Really don't know. But we'll just have to see, isn't it?
Well, I think I know what's going on. He's going DEF CON 4. Remember that statement that he
Oh
put that
yeah.
it's swiftly taken away and that got taken down everything? And now he made a statement. Forgive me, I'm not being a racist or anything like that. What do they call it now? When you're being against the Jewish people, what do they call it again? I've forgotten the word.
Anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that's it, anti-Semitic. It's not about that, but I'm just merely quoting what Kanye West said. He said he was going DEFCON 4 on the Jews, and this was a couple of years back. They went
Yeah.
absolutely nuts. He was cut from his Gap deal, Adidas deal, or Nike deal, or whatever it was, and all of them just went up against him. But Kanye's got. This is what I mean when you got money. Doesn't matter that these people don't want to use you for advertising. Does he look like he's poor? Does he look like
Listen,
he's poor with all of them
those
pulling
guys
them
are not
away from
poor
deals?
at all
No.
whatsoever. They're not
No.
poor. You know, they have money after money. They have dollars after dollars and dollars after dollars. HPQ.
Yes, indeed. It was Valentine's Day on Friday, wasn't it? But I'll come back to that in a second. I just quickly want to touch upon Kanye West. So Kanye West decided that he was going to go on a rant again about Jews, loose-lipped language on Twitter. He likes to use Twitter. It's a big forum for him. And then he decides that he's putting up some new Yeezy T-shirts, but they were a swastika sign. And he's going on Twitter saying he loves Hitler. Hitler was great. Hitler was God, or whatever the case may be. Now, every outlet is kind of Shopify took down the T-shirts. They're not selling them because of what it denotes. And I love Kanye, but I can't defend this one. I can't defend this one at all. I mean, why would you sell something when you know what it meant to millions of people? It's a bit like, it's a bit like the slave trade. We've got monuments and statues of slave traders we revere them, schools and colleges, and we only in Black Lives Matter was that allowed to be kind of taken down, or we kind of took them down. But we're still praising establishments that are disingenuous towards black people,
Mm.
or during slavery time. So yeah, I understand his stance in one sense, but the way in which he's doing it is going to get taken down at some point. Someone's gonna go after him and
Yeah, they're definitely going to
say
go after
goodbye.
him. I mean, I think he's just making a point of like, well, you're not going to control me, and I think
Mm.
that's what it's all about, that control. And they do want to control him, and he's like saying, well, you know what, you can't tell me what to say, how I feel, but they will use the law at some point to get him, just like they did with other people.
Yeah, and they do want to try and control people. I was watching Candace Owens' podcast, and she was talking about Wendy Williams and the fact that Wendy Williams is under conservatorship. Now, the only other people that were under conservatorship were Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes, and they were like they're off their minds on, or they set, or we've been told they were taking too much drugs, and so therefore they had to go under conservatorship to look after them and their money. And anybody that's been under conservatorship, they never come out better than what they went in. They kind of, I don't know. I don't know what happens or how they're supposed to be looked after, but they don't seem so. Now we're hearing reports that Wendy is trapped in a hotel room. The banks have her money. Now, what happened is that the banks decided that she was spending erratically, and then the bank manager that's looked after her for 14 years decided to suspend her account through to unusual activity. Now, she went to the bosses of Wells Fargo, and so this is what they enacted, and then they got somebody else to look after her money. So if she needs money, she now has to speak to someone in order to gain access. Now, what Candace Owens was saying was right. If Wendy wants to spend her money up the wall on drugs, then why is the bank intervening and saying she can't?
Mm.
What's it got to do with them? They're not her family. They're not concerned. I mean, how can a bank pick up the right to say, you don't look well, we feel like you're going to spend all your money, so we're going to stop you? I mean, if she wants to blow her cash, she can blow her cash.
Yeah.
It's her cash. So what right is it of the banks for it to say you can't take your money out, or we've got to put limits on what you could spend, and then the courts agree with it? I
Yeah.
mean, even if she's not of sound body, mind, and soul, if I earn that cash, I got the right to spend it
You
wherever
got the right to
I see
spend it.
fit. If I want to have a rollerball of drugs and women and men at my side 24/7, and that's how I choose to go my last dying days, then I don't want Santander or TSB or Halifax telling me we're going to stop your cash because we don't think what you're doing is right. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Mm.
Absolutely ridiculous. Not
It's
right.
it's all about control, isn't it? So when you get a certain amount of money, and they don't feel that you are spending it in the right way, they want to take control. They say that it's to protect you, but what it is that they just don't want you to spend your money. If you want to blow 20 million and you want to blow it anywhere you see fit, you've earned the right to earn that money. Who are they to tell you what you can and cannot do with your money? Okay, the banks take control. Why don't they give it to somebody in your family and say, okay, look, this person is not, we're going to give the legal rights for protection to you. But instead of giving it to the family, the banks and the government take control of your money and say what
It,
you can and cannot do, and when
it's a
you can and
dangerous,
cannot
it's a
do.
dangerous
Very
precedence
dangerous indeed.
they're setting there, that they can come in and take control more so than yourself and your family, and you are of sound mind, body, and soul, and you're not insane. And how do we know they're not feeding her, pumping her with drugs like they did with Britney Spears and
Mm.
Amanda Bynes? It's well documented that's what happened to Britney Spears. They freed her, and now she's just spinning around in circles in little knickers on Instagram. That's what's happened to her. Um, I'm just reading some of the chat. Good morning, Lady B. Sugar Sweet said Hitler was used by Stalin, whose last name was Brown. Okay.
Mm.
I don't get what you were saying there. Maybe you're going to have to put that back in so we can read that out. Lady B says, if the Elon Musk and Trumps are allowed freedom of speech, so is Kanye. I'm coming back on to Elon Musk in a minute.
Mm.
Um, Lady B says, she's saying morning to Susie Cruz. And Lady B also says, I think her husband has something to do with Wendy's predicament because she ain't paying him alimony. Right? If the bank's frozen the money, she can't pay that, can she? No. Where are all of Wendy's family in all of this? Susie Cruz says they're fighting the battle, apparently. The whole family, the son as well. She's very close to her son, as you know. And the entire family are trying to fight against the courts. How the courts have done this, I don't know. I haven't dug into it too much. I just watched this Candace Owens podcast, so I'm going to have to do my homework and see what's been happening here and the reasons to why it's going on. I know that they fired her personal banker of 14 years and put another woman on there who's a Wells Fargo employee that doesn't know Wendy and her money, so it's all a bit suspicious. Miss Sugar Sweet says because they don't have to give it to her, maybe she's got a whole load of millions in there and maybe they want to keep the interest up high, so they don't want to they don't want to give it over to her. Whatever the case is, we need to have a free Wendy Williams going on. You know, I miss Wendy. I miss her show. She was outspoken. Her and Joan Rivers. The meaning of free speech has gone. When Joan Rivers passed, I was devastated. I used to love her show. And, of course, with Wendy Williams and her show, she picked apart people and she did not hold back. And we need people like that, to be honest with you. Definitely. Now, Lady B was talking about Elon Musk. Do you know how many children Elon Musk has?
Well, with that amount of money he's got, I reckon maybe a few. He can afford to look after them. How many has he got?
12.
Wow.
Elon Musk has got 12 children. And there's another young lady that has come out in the news and saying that she's got the I think it's the 13th. It's either the 12th or the 13th for Elon Musk. And she's come out on Twitter and said, why don't you try responding to me, Elon, rather than responding to everybody else. I think he just put whoa on it when she kind of put that on there. And then she swiftly got her bits and pieces taken down from Twitter. And I suppose if you own it, you got the right to do that, right? You could just take down somebody who's accusing you of having a child. I mean, she says it's in a well-documented call. So I do believe it's true. I don't think it's one of these people coming out in allegations. She doesn't sound like one of these silly little girls that just wants to sleep with Elon Musk. So it looks like he might have 13 children. Now, Elon Musk was a staunch supporter of coming back into work full-time. Right? Didn't like this working from home thing. And what do I read in the papers? Elon Musk is bringing his children into work, bringing them into board meetings, high-level meetings, and just bringing them into work. Great. Well, Elon Musk, if you can bring your children to work, what about the rest of us? What about the rest of us that cannot afford these high levels of childcare? Okay, or the children picking them up from school or taking them to school. We don't have that luxury of bringing them into work and just making them sit on the floor and run around the office like crazy people whilst we try and get a day's work in. It's okay for you, sir, Mr. Man at the top, Mr. Man that's got all the money, Mr. Man that likes to shout from the rooftops, nobody stay at home, but I'll bring my kids into work, it's okay. Listen, the world's gone absolutely crazy. We've got two people that have just can say what they like on Twitter and then revoke the freedom of speech for everybody else. And I kind of knew that alliance was coming from when Elon Musk bought Twitter. I reckon this was all set up. I'll buy Twitter. I'll make sure that Trump can say what he wants because he gave Trump the platform. Remember, he gave Trump back his Twitter page once he took over Twitter or X. Then one of the things he did was immediately put Trump back on. Them two became friends, and 4 or 5 years later, Elon Musk is now in the White House.
Certainly is. It's a big con, isn't it? This government, the rich. It just shows you how powerful the rich are.
Yeah. Now, Lady B also says, hold on. Susie Cruz says, wow, which woman was sleeping with that? Goodness me, listen.
Money
There's Chris
talks.
Eubanks. He wasn't the best looking guy in the world. He had some charm. I mean, he won me over later on in the years. I was like, maybe if it's dark enough, I could. But Chris Eubanks, money talks. Money talks. If he was going to put me up in an apartment and give me like money every month and I don't have to do a damn thing but see him once a month, hey, I could do that.
Talking
Sharky looking at me. Yeah,
to
Chris
get
could.
dumped.
Anyway, Susie, Lady B says, watch the Don Lemon show. It kind of indicates that Wendy put herself in there in collaboration with Fargo so she wouldn't have to pay alimony. Well, she's been paying alimony for years. Why wouldn't she want to pay some more? Why would you put yourself in that situation just not to pay alimony? That doesn't make sense. Just move some cash around.
Yeah.
Put it into trust. I don't know. But that's hard. You know, you were with someone for years. They didn't work. You now got to pay them alimony and they're living with a new woman living life large, driving your cars. I don't think I could deal with that. I don't think I would deal with that too well. I think I'd be in some kind of mental institution. I have got to pay for you and your woman to have a good time. Nah. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Someone's going to die and someone's going to jail and someone's going to end up in the earth. One of those three scenarios happening there. No, hell would have to freeze over before that would happen to me. No, sir. Me? Give my money so you can live with another woman and I'm broke?
Trying to get myself some light. Is that looking better now? Is that brighter?
Slightly better. Definitely much better than before. You look
technology,
brighter than me now. You definitely look brighter than me. I've got all sorts of light going on here and I still look dark. I'm going to get some more light in a minute. But coming back to Lady B's point on that Wendy Williams hasn't paid her husband Ellie alimony since 2022. Well, she did stop paying alimony to her husband in May 2022. They divorced in 2020. That same month, Wells Fargo placed Wendy Williams under a court-ordered guardianship. So since they've put her under that guardianship, she hasn't paid alimony. Now, if she hasn't got access to her accounts to pay out, then how's she supposed to pay alimony to her husband? So I'm not quite sure whether it was a collaboration with Wendy and Wells Fargo. I'm not quite sure a bank would collaborate in order not to pay someone out money. That's a legal situation. But of course, you know, people do some dirty tricks here and there. So it could be a possibility. It could be a possibility that Wells Fargo hasn't or is not paying the money because it's under a court-ordered guardianship. Well, who knows? I need to dig deeper into that one. But it looks like her husband has been he's requested that the court intervene and make sure he receives 2 years worth of cash. Williams' legal guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, claims that Hunter was overpaid by $112,000 and unjustly enriched by Williams' bank account. Maybe he had access to it. Who knows? Lady B says you should watch the Don Lemon show. I will do. I will watch the shows. But there are so many things on with speculation about what's happened to Wendy Williams. I've seen quite a few things. Only Wendy Williams and the court-ordered guardianship team know what's going on with Wendy Williams. But we'll try and bring back some more on that in the next coming weeks. Now, changing the subject very, very quickly, as I was saying, just, oh gosh, Sharky, it's top of the hour. We'll come back. We'll talk about Valentine's Day after we go for the ads.
Yes, HPQ.
Thank you. I'm desperate. Now you look like you've got more light. I now look darker by comparison. What's going on? You're playing around with your camera there. Oh, right. Well, coming back. Now, I've tried to talk about this for the last hour or so. Valentine's Day was last week, Friday. This mad pagan event that makes us spend so much money and go and do some untoward things just to please your partner. Who went out on Valentine's Day? Who spent cash? Who bought a present? Who went out to dinner? One of my friends, before I start talking about Valentine's, one of my friends put up a picture. He's recently moved to Warsaw, actually. I know him from South London, and I saw he contacted me saying he wants to find out some restaurants that him and his wife want to go to. Anyway, they were at one of the restaurants, I think that Munch and Move did one of their functions in, and it looked absolutely stunning. I was looking it up and I was like, oh, this looks nice. It's like almost like you can oversee the whole of Birmingham at the restaurant. I was like, oh, this looks nice. I must go here. When I looked at the Valentine's Day menu price, I was astounded.
What happened?
Was like,
was it expensive?
Really? It was a minimum of £100 each.
No. Each?
Each.
That's taking the mickey.
Each.
That's taken the absolute mickey.
Each. Now,
That's the mickey.
I get you want to do things for your partner for love. I do. I really do. But you see all of this going out into restaurants and you get the Valentine's Day set menu with another £100 or £50 added on for the same food, smaller plates.
Ridiculous.
Roses. How do roses suddenly go up in price on Valentine's Day? Why is it more on Valentine's Day than any other day? And they talk about supply and demand. Well, they supply a lot. The supply's there and the demand is there. So don't start upping the prices because of that. Hotels become expensive. Flight becomes expensive. Everywhere is expensive. I'm sure the rail companies, if they could, will put the prices up on Valentine's Day if you had to travel. Because the airlines do. Right? So all of this cash to say, you know, I love you. Well, you could do that every day for free.
Absolutely.
Every day for free. Yeah, you don't have to do it on Valentine's Day. I refuse to celebrate it. Now, over the years, I've done my own different styles of Valentine's. Past years, I remember making my own little restaurant, like with a little board and a menu, and putting a menu table up and cooking my own food, all that kind of things I do. Not subscribe to this pagan festival. Anyway, anybody know some stats about Valentine's Day? Yeah, it's a big day for retailers. It really is. They look forward to it. We now have Easter coming out now, Mother's Day. That's the next biggest thing. Now, every year, 8 million roses are imported into the UK and 4 million bouquets of flowers are sold. Yeah? 8 million are imported and 4 million bouquets of flowers are sold. You want to guess how many Valentine's cards that we send? I thought the statistic would have gone down.
How many do we send?
25 million Valentine's cards are sent in the UK.
That's a lot of money.
Well, 85 million.
I'm going to invest in cards, mate.
85 million is spent on confectionery because of chocolates. Valentine's Day is associated with chocolate. 85 million is spent on confectionery, chocolates. Yeah? Total spending on Valentine's Day has increased by approximately 6% every year since 2017.
Wow.
And last year, 2.1 billion was spent by 35 million people in the UK who celebrated Valentine's Day. 2.1 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, 2.1 billion we spend on one day. Imagine if all of us as black people decided that we were not going to spend this money on Valentine's Day and that we were going to put the money together and open up a bank. There's a lot of money that we could have, people.
Jeez.
If we can do that on Valentine's Day, just believe 2.1, I'm just taking this in, 2.1 billion spent on Valentine's Day, one day. And we as black people cannot get ourselves together and say, listen, let's just take one day, everyone put £100 in, one time.
One time.
And it will be like the Bank of Dave, right? It will be like the Bank of Dave and serve only our people and look after only our people.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that? I'm sure that the banking environment will just not give us a license for some reason. They'll find that, you know, there's probably a herb garden in the back of the bank or something like that. Yeah. But this is what we need to do, people. Don't spend it on Valentine. 2.1 billion. I'm astounded. I'm just astounded.
This DJ is SharkyDJ. Check
My
him
God,
out.
it's SharkyDJ.
Yo. Hey, yo,
It's SharkyDJ.
Oh, SharkyDJ. SharkyDJ. Oh, my gosh. Right. You know, sometimes we have to make sure that we don't wrong people in life. Because people end up doing all kinds of horrible things to you. Or can do. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you've got to be careful of what people give you to eat because you don't know what's in it. My mum always said that, don't eat from nobody because you don't know what they put in their food. Always come home and eat. And that story never rang true, more so than this very disturbing story that I picked up on last week. Now, a disgraced teacher in Louisiana, this wasn't in the UK, Not that it's not replicated in the UK. I've got another story in the UK that's just as bad. But a disgraced Louisiana teacher would spend decades behind bars after pleading guilty to horrific crimes against children. Did you know what she did? So she admitted to serving her students cupcakes that were laced with her husband's sperm.
Oh, I read that story. Oh my God. Could you imagine? I read that story. I did read that story. It made me sick to the core.
Yep, she will spend decades behind bars, admitted to serving her students cupcakes that contain sperm from her ex-husband, who's awaiting his own trial on child sex crime charges.
Could you imagine that? Like your child, been given food from these people and those kind of nastinesses. Oh my God, I'd feel sick. God,
Prior to the sentencing, she was sentenced to 41 years hard labour without parole. I didn't think hard labour still stood. You expect the people in like with chains and with a pitchfork, kind of like digging out the roads, building the railroads. But prior to the sentencing, she issued an apology to her victims. She pleaded guilty to second-degree rape. This is a woman, by the way. Production of child pornography and conspiracy mingling of harmful substances. So not only did she mix the sperm into the cupcakes, she obviously had child pornography, second-degree rape also for minors. But she waived her right to appeal and attempt to avoid conviction. And she spared the victims from relieving her horrific crimes in this particular field by the way that she actually pleaded, which is the one good thing that she did. But imagine that you find out. I mean, sorry, there's a delay going on.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
There's two things there. There was a woman that was the victim of crime where her husband used to drug her so that people can come and have sex with her, and she didn't know for years. And then you've got this case of the woman that is lacing cakes with sperm. And it just makes me feel frightened because food these days, we don't know what's in it. And people are coming up with all sorts of things. Right? And just imagine you're eating food now and you don't know if someone's laced it with some sperm.
God. Do you know what? I actually think to myself sometimes, when you go out and you buy sandwiches and you go out to fast food restaurants and stuff like that, or even to the restaurant, and this is why I never ever argue with anybody that has to prepare my food, because you just don't know what you're going to get when it comes back.
No, you don't. They should have cameras in kitchens. I think
They
we should
should
petition
Standard.
for cameras in kitchens. If
Everywhere.
we've got cameras in childcare, why are they not in kitchens? Because you're right. You don't know what they're doing with their food. They'll be, that cow out there. Just put a little bit extra sprinkling on that. You know what I mean, love? And yeah, we got extra sprinkling or some things on there. But that is the risk that we take every day. I mean, if we're prepared to eat off the streets, then I wouldn't worry about what's going on in a restaurant. If you're prepared to eat off the streets, if you're prepared to go in one of them little sham shops and get your little $4.99 bento box, don't be afraid of what's been in that bento box along with the meat. There's probably been a few other things waving around on the floors and stuff. The truth is, we do not know how people are preparing our foods. We do not know
That's
what they do
right.
with it. You could be
Yeah.
as nice as pie and someone just don't like black people or don't like women or don't like men or don't like the way you look or what you've dressed or you look like you look like an ex, It could be anything, and they're like, I'm going to lace their food up. They're too nice. They're too pretty.
God.
Anything. It's just a dangerous situation that we're in, and I think there should be
It
cameras
is.
in there. In fact, if you want to complain about your food, I want to know how you prepared my food. Show me a rewind. Rewind it, please, and show me exactly how you prepared it so I can see what time you took. Hold them to account.
Yeah.
Miss Sugar Sweet says, pack lunch and stop eat out. Look, I'm sorry. That's good on you, but I can't cook every day. I can't pack lunch every day. And ever so now and again, I like to spoil myself. That's like saying don't go to a spa and scrape off your own hard skin and paint your own toenails, right? No, I'm going somewhere where I can be looked after. I want to be pampered. And besides, I like to taste different foods. I'm after the goat's balls still. I haven't forgotten about those. I love I love different foods, and before the morning's out, I might have a video clip for you or two.
Crew. Still trying to teach HBQ how to dance salsa properly.
Oh,
One
I'm
day she'll
getting
get
there. I'm getting
She's
there. You
getting
like to
there. She's
swing me
definitely
around
getting there.
sometimes, you know. Miss Sugar Sweet says, still looking and waiting for the butchers to get back to you, HPQ. Listen, I just need to take a day off and get up to the bull ring and order my goat's balls and get that cooking up and give it to an unsuspecting Sharky DJ. I'm not even going to tell you when I've cooked them. I'm going to
Listen,
make
mate,
you taste
I would
it.
taste this and I'll look at it and think, what is this?
You don't know. It'd be mixed up in a stir fry. You'd be like, this is nice. What's this? Goat's balls.
You know, I
hun."
always expect my food before eating. I'm not one of those who just goes, no.
No,
if I
you
see
don't
something
inspect your food,
if I
Sharky.
see
You're like, you
something-
look at the plate and that's it. It's all going in. You mix it all in together. About you inspect it.
Once I inspect the food, yes.
He
I
mixes
look at
it
it
all
and think,
in.
what is this if I see something I don't recognize?
And I'll say, oh, it's just some mushrooms, hun. Try it. Newfangled mushrooms I've done. Try that.
I say, this don't taste like mushrooms.
Yeah. And then you've tasted it.
Oh, dear.
And Verona says, yes, Verona, if you're going to the ballroom, please, could you film it and say HPQ wants goat's balls?
Yeah.
I want to go up there and film it. I do. And there's a special name for them. HPQ, balls or balls? I don't know. I want the goats. Balls sound like it's a bit too chewy. I want
Balls.
something that's got a proper good texture. Balls might be a bit too much for me right now. I'll try that in the second round.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, let's go for the goat right now. That's all I can handle. DJ Annette on my platform says these waiters rushed off their feet. They don't have time to wash their hands after the use of toilet. It's true. It's true. They come out the toilet. They start serving you food. Especially like things like, I mean, you talk about don't complain about food. What about when you're sending back your food and it says it's not heated up properly? They probably just pick that with their hands and slap it in there, prod it around a bit about it's not cooked properly.
Do you know
said
what?
He wanted it like
If you
this.
send it back, I always send it back with a smile. Say, oh, sorry, really. Just
Like that
hot
helps.
food
What if they're
instead, man.
racist?
If they're
What if the
racist, then
chef-
well, you know what? Like they turn around and say, what you don't know is not going to hurt you, right?
Yeah.
Until you find
What
something
don't kill will
creeping
only fatten, as my mother said. This is why I don't get ill too much, you know. I'm sure I've eaten some sperm and some urine and all sorts of things in my food. I've had somebody else's bodily fluids a couple of times. I think we all have in our lifetime. I think
Yeah.
you're just going to have to resonate with that, people, that you don't always know what you're eating. You can try and mitigate against it. You can do all what you can. But I'm sure some stuff that you don't want going down your throat has been down there, whether you have instigated yourself or not.
You know
Now-
what? I think I'm
Go on,
just going to
sorry.
stick to drinking water.
Even then, we're talking about off-what water companies, spillage into sewages, cleaning up that water and sending it back out. Nah. Anyway, talking about food. Goat's balls? Let's try this.
One of the smelliest foods in the world, pig vagina. Although it's very smelly and contains a lot of bacteria, eating too much can cause cancer, but its unique taste is very popular in Vietnam. Before making this delicacy, chefs will give it a full-body spa. They'll add salt, lemon, and white wine and massage it for a few minutes. This not only removes the black dirt from the skin, but also eliminates its fishy smell. It's worth noting that the breathing holes need to be cleaned very carefully. You might think the chef is joking, but no, this is very serious work. If you don't believe it, call your friends over to see. Because pigs have hair, the chef takes out a husband's razor and performs hair removal surgery on it. After the processing is complete, the clean pig vagina is placed in a pot, along with vegetables to remove the fishy smell. Under high temperature, its meat becomes firm. After patiently waiting for 10 minutes, take out the pig vagina and put it in ice water to cool and enhance the freshness of the pork. After washing, slice the pig vagina and place it in a dish. From the screen, you can see how elastic its meat is. Add red sauce and mix well. Next, fry the pig vagina in an oil pan and stir fry with star fruit and shallots. Wait patiently for 3 minutes, and this delicious Vietnamese specialty is ready. Those who have tried it praise it endlessly.
Pig vagina.
Do you know
What
something?
are
I
going
would
to
eat
find
that.
next to eat?
That looks all right. I know I shuddered. You know what? What I can't deal with is the cleaning. Right, in fact, I cooked chicken foot yesterday. I had to boil it up, then cut off the toenails, and I found one stray one after I've been cooking it with the toenails still on it. I had to take that out of the pot. I was mortified, right? But
God,
so I'm used to that. I would eat that. Listen, people, this is the lady's important part. It's gonna taste good, trust me, right? Most men will attest to that. They will tell you it will taste nice. It's not the dirtiest part of the pig. Chicken ass that I showed a couple of months ago is one that I would recoil at because of what comes out of there. But the pig's vagina it was cleaned, it looked fresh. I don't know, but I don't know about him saying after all the fishy smell. That's having a laugh. I think that was just put on there. But you know what I liked? When he said, and boil it in salt and white wine. Imagine that, you know? Now that's going to make it better. Let's boil it in some white wine. That's going to make it more attractive. I would eat that. I'll try that.
Oh, gosh. You would actually eat that?
I would eat that. It looks all right.
So there's goat's balls that you're after and pig's vagina. It looks all right. Gosh.
It does look all right. Anybody that says it looks like pig's trotters without the bone.
God.
When you slice it up, looks
There
like
you go.
anyone who's
what?
had souse or pig's trotters or chicken foot and all them kind of jelly stuff, they could eat pig's vagina and you wouldn't even know. I mean, you drink Manish water, right? That's got goats. Well, some people do.
I don't.
Some people drink Manish water. What's wrong with pig's vagina? Some men have it without the pig and do all well. Why not eat it properly?
Let me play a track. Oh dear, I'll tell you what, just when you think that you can't get any worse with the food, they bring something out which just is worse. And you see the man clean it. I have to say, right, that when the thought of it is horrible. And I wouldn't eat it, trust me, just the thought of it. But
Sorry.
But when they chop it up, fry it, and it turn brown and look nice, it does look kind of tasty, but it's still not yummy.
Listen, back in the day, there wasn't. Back in the day, if we go back to caveman days, when they ate the animal, they ate the whole animal. And if you've watched certain films, to eat animal testes was like the prize part of the animal, the one that contained the most protein. Right? Women should be revered, okay? And eating, what do you call it? Pig pum pum, tun tun, whatever you want to call it. It should be something that's special, and it probably does taste very nice, gentlemen. I'm sure you know this. So give it a go before you start criticising. And back in the day, we used to eat everything from the animal. Nothing was sacred. Everything was up for eating. And I think as we reside in this westernized world, we're supposed to say, no, you can't eat that, you can't eat this. Everything's up for the taking of any animal, right? And it depends on how you cook it and how it's prepared. You'd think that when you get a piece of rump from inside the cow, that it's not full of blood and all the bits and pieces that have passed through the body, and you think eating a piece of steak is more attributable than eating a pig pum pum. Come on, guys. Once you taste it, you taste it. Now, some people enjoyed it. Watch this. What I loved was the consistency. That chew.
Just too chewy for me. It's a
strong muscle. When you got to pump out as many children as we got, it contracts.
But that
comes back in again. It's tough. Of course, it's got a chewiness to it. It's a strong muscle.
Jesus, imagine them picking out of that thing there and then yam it. Oh. Oh, dear.
Cheryl A says, morning peeps, a very distasteful subject. I'm sorry, Cheryl A, it has to come on sometimes. You know, we have to show these things. We have to show what people eat. Don't be afraid to eat. Don't be afraid to eat anything, I'm telling you.
They will yum
It's
anything.
just food. It's just
Yes.
food.
They will just eat anything. But the truth of the matter is, right? And let's get to reality. We have choice. So because we have choice, we have the choice of saying we will eat this and we don't want to eat that because we have choice. But many years ago, remember that plane crash? There was a plane crash in somewhere. I
In
can't
the
remember which
Andes,
country it
the
was.
film was called Alive. Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, they started eating the body, and they ate every part of the body, not even cooked, cold, to survive. And that was a human body, yeah? And they took their time, sliced up the body, and sliced up pieces of it. And they obviously did their praise and everything. But in order to survive this cold place where they were, over the months that they were, I can't remember how many human bodies they ate, but they ate a number of human bodies, and they ate every part of the human body in order to survive. And once one body was finished, they started on the next and the next and the next and the next. So in reality, what you're saying is right. It's because we have the choice to say yes or no, why we'll think about it. But if the choice was to survive and we had to eat pig pum pum, I think we would.
Yeah, and if it was the only food that was available, I mean,
Yeah.
oxtail has come into fashion. People used to recoil. Oxtail, what's that? Pig's foot, what's that? But we eat it, right? And how nice is it when you hear people talk about a piece of pork? Pork, we all know about the dirtiness of a pig, but people love a piece of pork. How pork tastes so sweet, I don't know. I see my son was cooking bacon the other day. I don't eat pork anymore, and I certainly don't eat bacon. And the bacon smelled so nice. I was like, I can see why people love a bacon. Bacon smells nice.
But it's like the same thing like eating lobsters. They say the lobsters are the cockroaches of the sea. Yeah, it eats every dead fish, whatever it is. It eats dead things, and people love lobster. They love shrimps, and these are scavenger fishes. But people will eat them, and they don't think about it. I don't eat lobsters and that, but think about it.
Yeah,
Them
and just
things
like
eat anything.
the prawn, if you don't take out that
Yeah.
that vein at the back of the prawn, that's their waste vessel. Take it out. Make sure you get rid of that. But as I said, what doesn't kill will only fatten. So I need to try the goat's balls, pig's pum pum. I've got a list going on here. What I'm going to try. Honestly, it did look nice, but the consistency was what made me laugh. I think lots of people put that in the chat. The way that the man was clapping his mouth, he looked pensive. He looked very hesitant to actually try it, but he did, and they delivered it nice. That plate of food, you wouldn't have known what it was, would you?
No, I wouldn't. But I wouldn't have eaten it because I don't like the slimy look of it. So no, I wouldn't have eaten it. Lady B wants to know what mannish water is.
I'll let Verona tell. Mannish water is when you put it's like the whole goat in a soup, everything, and especially the goat's head and the goat's testes, goat's balls. Everything goes in the soup basically. That's what mannish water is. A whole goat in a soup.
What is it that the St. Lucians eat? Is it the black? What do they call it again? The pigs.
I don't know, but the sign you're doing with your hands is not very good.
It's a black like thing, and they wrap it up in a black. What's it called again?
Cow cod. Cow cod.
Pardon?
Cow cod.
No.
That's what Rona's put in there.
Oh, cow cod. What's the thing called? It's St. Lucians eat it. It's pig's blood mixed with.
Oh, like what do you call it? Black pudding.
Black pudding. Yes. Oh, that's got that pig's blood. Me nah yam them thing there. Even if I'm hungry. Oh dear. Yes, black pudding.
Black pudding. Everyone's put it in there. Miss Sugar Sweet went hello. Nope. I hope you weren't saying that for mannish water. Mannish water is basically it's made of goat's parts, the whole goat or goat's parts, with vegetables and stuff. That's what it is essentially. Yes. Lady B says, what were you doing there, SharkyDJ? Yeah, I said the same thing. When he was doing this, I'm like, what are you doing?
No, because the black pudding, it's black, isn't it? It's long and black, and it's wrapped, isn't it? So it's long.
Can you
black.
stop doing that, please? Yeah. Just stop. just.
Let me play a music here. HPQ.
Do you know, people talk about pig's pum pum and goat's balls, but faggots. Who the name alone just puts me off. Spam and faggots. It's just two foods I could never touch. But faggots are made minced offcuts and offal. Right, that's all the discarded carcasses and the bits that, like the testes and things like that, or even the bits you give to dogs, I reckon. And then put in breadcrumbs and herbed up and sold as faggots. Who eats that? I don't know. But they're popular up here. Some faggots and some spam and orange-coloured chips.
Faggots, you know.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Lady B says, I used to like faggots, but no more. Oh, my God, no.
I don't know what faggots are.
Yep. Lovely Lee says, minced sheep's organs traditionally cooked in sheep's stomachs.
Dear.
Is that haggis? Is that she's talking about? Yeah. MB David J says, what about faggots and sweetbread? What kind of food is that? Where are you getting that from? Is this the same person that is talking about that and throwing their arms up in the air over pig's vagina? Wouldn't you rather eat that?
Faggots.
Wouldn't you rather eat that, David J? Wouldn't you have some? I know some of you men want to taste it, really. I know some of you are licking your lips and saying it looks all right, really. But on radio, I'm going to have to say no. Say it looks disgusting. But secretly, you're looking on the internet to see where you can buy it, right? I'll cook it for you, chaps. No problemo.
What's yellow chips in Brixton?
Yellow chips they put like a flavour or seasoning or a coating on chips everywhere in the West Midlands, or definitely
I've
in
tasted
Wolverhampton.
that. What have they got on it? What did they put on it?
I don't know. It's like a batter or a seasoning or something that they put on chips. And it's all over. I haven't eaten chips in a very long time up here because you go for a child-sized portion and it's like a big tray.
She said it's curry.
Is it the curry powder or something? It's something in it. MBE David J says, hell no to all of them. Nope. Well, just don't come to a HPQ party because y'all don't know what you're going to get. Because after all this talk, I'm going to mix up some of that. Hey, have some stir-fried rice, HPQ special rice. It's coming to you soon, people. It's coming to you soon. Don't despair. You'll get to try some along the way. Unwittingly, I may add. Now, I got to go. Curry batter, Miss Sugar Sweet says. Yes, Spice Nice, Pig Pum Pum. Got to try it. And Verona, can you see if you can get that up there for me as well, please? Cleaned up, right? I don't want to do no scraping. You know, like when you scale fish. No. I don't want any of that. No scaling, no burning hairs. I don't have a gas cooker, so I can't burn the hairs. It's got to be hair and scale free, please. Kimmy Kim says, Grand Rising, beautiful people. What have I woke up to? Pigs, pum pum, and faggots. MBE David J says, I guess once it's seasoned and cooked up, I'm telling you, when you go to a restaurant and you think, remember the time when it was like horse meat? Remember the horse meat scandal?
Oh yeah.
When McDonald's was selling horse meat as burgers, you were eating horse meat, okay? Why not pig's pum pum?
Oh, God.
Get a taste of something delightful, as I would say. Now, I'm going to go shortly. It's now 10 to 10. I'll be back the week after. Next, just a few things I want to tell you about. We're bringing on She Spins. We're celebrating International Women's Day on the 10th and the 11th. It's actually on the 10th. The 10th and 11th of March. We'll bring in over 14 female DJs to stream all day long on Mixcloud. So it's going to start from 8 a.m. 8 a.m. on the Monday, and then it's going to start from 12 on the Tuesday. Got lots of female DJs lined up. Adverts will come out next week. Make sure you lock and tune in and celebrate. We are not raising cash. It's just basically all about unity, empowerment, and the love of music. And the last thing, people, get your Sheen and your Temu orders in. The government is looking to close that tax loophole, which allows all these cheap goods to come in without being subject to customs. They are closing it down in the USA, and it's only a matter of time before it comes to the UK. All of that free good stuff is coming to an end. Get bulk buying now. I'm doing my orders soon. See ya week after next, everybody.